There are few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect day for football at Lumen Field in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. First carry now for Trey Sermon. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
Come on now. Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Sermon. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Just a yard to go here on 2nd down. Lance, a give now to Sermon. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. And now they'll throw with Lance. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Here's 2nd and 10. Sermon, they'll try the left side with it. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. Lance looking to throw it. That's out wide here for Robinson. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Tackled by Darrell Taylor.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now it's 2nd and 9. Lance now to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Bobby Wagner, multiple times an All-Pro, in there to drop him for a loss. Now after the sack, Lance and the Niners staring up here at a 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. He wants it all for the end zone. And oh no, it's incomplete. Well, it's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up 4th down. And getting our first update now from Nashville. It's the Colts in that one that have grabbed the early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. Returnable for Lockett. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Wilson. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. So, CD, his very first pass of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know that's a major surprise for any quarterback because, look, let's face it, no one thinks about throwing interceptions. But think about all the warm-up that we saw, right? Every pass he threw wasn't a single interception because, oh, that's right, there were no defenders out there. A little bit different when there's live guys out there chasing the football.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Here's Lance. They set up the screen for Sermon. Touchdown 49ers. Trey Sermon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Niners have taken the early lead. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. It's a big play there for Seattle.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30. Now it's Wilson. Dumps this one off to Chris Carson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And the 49ers are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. They set themselves behind the chains, trying to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they come in losers of 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend, but you think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here?
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up, and the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge, because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility, and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
A good gain on first has them set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. On the handoff, Sermon. And he's going to have a Niners first down as the tackle made at the 35-yard line.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Sermon, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Seahawks, nothing.
Eight yards to go on second down. Now Lance completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And you can just see that whole play developing. That's where, as a defender, you just lock in on your target and say, I'm not even thinking about breaking stride. I'm running straight for the belt buckle because where it goes, That's where you find his body, and he was able to get in there and make a great play.
And exactly how fast was he going? According to Next Gen Stats, 21.7 miles per hour. And they'll try and run for the first with Sermon. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They run. Here's Sermon. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now a handoff. Sermon. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 70 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Lance to throw it. Open man is Samuel, complete. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 26-yard line.
To throw, it's Lance. That'll be complete to Sermon. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Running left is Sermon. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. The 49ers are going to turn over to the special teams crew. The field goal unit is out there now. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And that is no good. No good. Wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. Fighting his way through. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. I tell you, for a defender, that's got to be a scary sight, seeing a big man like this with a head of steam behind him as he makes that catch and then turns upfield.
Yeah, normally when you talk about tight ends, you immediately begin talking about them rumbling down the field. But to me, he was pretty well gliding downfield there. Very athletic for a big man, and he takes this one all the way to pay dirt.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the catch on the next-gen stats. So now a two-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks. Wilson going to throw for it. Rolling to his right. And it's caught. He's got it. So they go for two. They convert, and along with it, they'll take an 8-7 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And, Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are. But let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Two minutes even in what's been a tight first half. 8-7 our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. He and John. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Here's second and a yard.
Right here. Hey, check mark 39. Check mark 39. That's a part.
Wilson. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. And this will go to Carson out wide. And the Seahawks are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover it before he gets going?
That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. To throw is Wilson. Flushed out right. And he's got it. caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. They find themselves open for an easy touchdown.
Extra point up and through, and the lead is up to 8. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
Well, defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And it'll be a touchback as Tyler Lockett says, I'm not going to return this one. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. He'll check that down to Carson. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Gerald Everett, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. So now a two-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks. They'll try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So they elect to pass there on the two-point try. Sometimes can prove risky there. It worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking? And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Lance forced out to his left. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Off of play action, here's Lance. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Play action, now it's Lance. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now. This is Sermon. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done, because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position, because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Sermon now on 1st and 10. Heck of a broken tackle, and able to work this down near the 23. 90 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. The Lance going to throw. He'll find Sermon out of the backfield. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass, but sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. Blankenship's kick is good. And that will cut the lead down to 13. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big play that time through the air. 34 yards. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They go play action with Wilson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it's nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing is Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Toward the sideline, did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Here's Wilson. This is caught. A gain of 9 there. Sets up 2nd and goal. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us?
And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks. They'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Working from the gun, Lance. Flush to his right. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quitting him.
0.
Lance throwing complete here to Sermon. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it's a 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On 2nd down, it's Sermon. And he's got this down to the 35. 102 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now a run with Sermon. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. But they run once more with Sermon. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now Lance. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
The 49ers are going to turn over to the special teams crew. The field goal unit is out there now. From the left hash, this from 39. And the kick here is good. So